Hello, Mary. Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mary.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. How are you? Can you please on your camera?
I'm sorry?
Can you
I'm
please
trying
on your
to.
camera?
I'm just having a few problems.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Before starting a session, I want to introduce you to our audience. Can you please move back to the camera? You're not clearly visible.
I'm having problems with it. It was on before, but it's not on now.
Okay. Hello, Mary.
Okay, I'll try this way. And put that there. It was on before.
Yeah. Can you please move a little bit down?
My speaker's down.
Yeah. Can you please move your mobile a little bit down so we clearly see your
Yes? Can you hear that now?
some more?
Some more down?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Now?
Some more, little bit,
Hello?
little
Is that
bit.
better? Hello?
Yeah, Mary, can you please move a little bit back?
My which?
Yeah, can you please move a little bit back from the camera?
Yeah?
Yeah, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect, Mary.
Okay, great.
Yeah, all right.
Can you see me?
Yeah, before, yeah. Yes. Yeah, before starting the session, I want to introduce to your audience, Mary.
Yes?
Yeah. Mary Alexander is a global mental health advocate who played a pivotal role in establishing national brain tumor advocacy groups after losing her husband to a brain tumor. She has since dedicated herself to supporting mental health initiatives, organizing key advocacy meetings, and promoting awareness. Her mission is to realize the full potential of global mental health through education, policy, and community engagement. Mary, you have done a great work. Yes, yes, that is a great bio, Mary, and you have done a great work. And the stage is all yours. You can continue your presentation.
Okay, bonjour everyone. Hello. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you as a keynote speaker here. Uh, I'm a previous speaker at IDIAS World Psychiatric and Global Mental Health Conference, October 2024. That was by online, but Miami, Florida, USA. And I spoke about the importance of community development in addressing psychiatry and global mental health issues. I am currently the personal assistant to S2F Signage, which is my son's business. And we live together, and I I do all the things, the back end of things for him so that he can concentrate on his business because he works as well in the same field. And I'm also the founder of Community Development Projects, and that is a Facebook page where I set up a team, and most of them are in Northern Africa. And one of my team is a woman that I'd like to speak to you about, and her name is Gertrude Apenda. She studied at Maseno University. She has a bachelor degree in education. She's the regional chairperson and board member of PeaceNet Kenya. She's her passion is now is gender-based violence, and she's a coalition member under the United Nations Africa United Against Gender-Based member of the National Working Group. She's a director of MADCAA, Orphans and Vulnerable Children. She sees that the local global PeaceNet impact mental health issues has been always oppression, especially of women for African women, especially gender-based violence. Her orphanage is something that had to close during COVID, and these children, she's had a lot of difficulty in that she could never get funding, and this has become a global issue for everybody really, but for her it's been an ongoing battle. Because she has so passionate about these issues and being an African woman, whereby they're not equal in terms of their rights as women, and they're supposed to be subjected and not speak out. But she her passion and her passion is something that gets her through all the difficulties that she's had over the decades in dealing with all of the impact of the mental impact on her personally as an advocate for women locally, globally. And she is a woman of faith, and she's inspired by wanting to do the best she can for human beings, especially women and children. So that's the first person I'd like to speak to. And then I will summarize about my experience and my thoughts and my mentor. And the second person that I want to speak to you about is a woman some of you may know and or have heard of, and her name is was Sinead Marie Bernadette O'Connor. She's an Irish singer. She was an Irish singer, songwriter, also an activist. And her passion was child abuse, human rights, racism, and women's rights. Her struggles with mental health came about due to her socio-political viewpoints, and she experienced mental health trauma. So she eventually converted to Islam. She lost her son along the way before she passed away. And I would like to read you some anecdotes from her book, Remembering. And they're quite significant because when I found them this afternoon, actually, I was really deeply moved by them. And there's only a few of them. They're quite simple, and I think it'll ring a string to a lot of people. Whatever it may bring, I will live my own policies. I will sleep with a clear conscience, and I will sleep with a clear conscience. I will sleep in peace. But I think you'll see in this book a girl who finds herself not by success in the music industry, but by taking the opportunity to sensibly and truly lose her marbles. The thing being that after losing them, one finds them and end up playing the game better. Women are to be valued for so much more than their sexuality. I don't define success as having a good name or being wealthy. I define success by whether I keep the contract with the Holy Spirit. I just need to pay my yearly overhead, get things off my chest, and not compromise or prostitute myself spiritually. So now this brings me to my summary, because I'm going to make this quite short, even though it may seem long. What I've said about Getty is respectful, because she's gone through so much, but she believes that funding is the main issue for her, in that the funding, if she attains it, will make it easier for her to do her job in terms of advocating for women's rights. And she's also a global warming activist, and that makes it difficult for her as well. And however, I believe that husbands and wives face difficulties these days from outside of their marriage, along with threats to their children, if they are happy within their relationship. This not only puts pressure on the husband, but the wife and mother as well. Widows and orphans globally suffer the most. I can tell you this from experience. Breastfeeding women, a fleet of mothers, due to modern Western biomedical model of health, due to everyone's global need for funding, especially since 9/11. And so, in summary, I will speak to you about International Women's Day, what it meant for me when I was mentored by a woman by the name of Sister Anne Hobson. She was a presentation sister from Cork Island, but that's where it originated from 200 years ago. And it moved to Australia in about 1869. And she studied community development at the same institute that I did. And she founded Wellsprings for Women. And that initially was a drop-in centre for Aboriginal women of Australia, Victoria especially. And it was also a safe place for women with mental health issues to go to. I did my first year placement there in 2001. And then I was to do my second year placement there, but I started working. And my thesis for my second year placement was for what was then called the Southeast Migrant Women's Health Network. And it was to be based upon which consisted of about 40 plus women, professional women throughout Southeast Melbourne, who all work together to assist women, especially refugee women, and the International Women's Day. She would organise events, and he would, and everyone came to these events, hundreds and hundreds of people, and it from all nations, professionals as well as refugees and women that visited the centre, volunteers, which there were quite a few of. And what it meant for us all was that we could come together in a safe place and celebrate the beauty of women on the inside who share a common goal in wanting a better life without oppression in any way whatsoever. And that's all I have to say. Does anyone have any questions? Hello? What happened? Where?
Hello, Mary.
Hello.
Yeah, yours was a really an inspiring journey. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
really great talk, Mary.
thank you.
Yeah, and
You're
we have
welcome.
a few questions from our audiences, Mary.
Yes,
Yeah, I want to ask you one of them.
yes.
How did your personal experience with what's inspired your advocacy for brain tumor awareness and mental health?
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Yeah. How did your personal experience with loss inspire your advocacy for brain tumor awareness and mental health?
Well, he passed away. He had he suffered from all the effects of the initial tumor for 7 years, and during that time we were blessed with our two children, and uh, it was very difficult because uh, we went into a business because his role as a commercial manager for a leading uh, tourism the Phillip Island Penguin Reserve, uh, was very difficult for him to do because of cognitive deficiencies that he attained from the initial uh, uh, neurosurgery and radiation and eventually chemotherapy uh, in the year that he passed away. So we went into a business and I got pregnant with our son miraculously. And uh, he, we lost the business. There was a lot of stress on us. And I was breastfeeding my son at the time. And I had a 2-year-old daughter. And it was very, very difficult, but they were very brave in the last 6 months of his life. My daughter could call an ambulance when he was seizing, guided by her 18-month little brother, having taught her to dial by mobile an ambulance for her father if I was busy with him too. So she remembered that instantly. So I'm very pleased and proud of her and him for that. They're my heroes for that reason. And when he passed away, uh, my focus was to make sure that they could transition into living without their father alive in the most holistic way possible. And that meant uh, starting the brain tumour quilt for the National Brain Tumour Advocacy Group Conference, which would be in 2003. So it took us a few years to collect all the pieces, and the initial piece came from her, and it was a a drawing that she took to her father uh, when he first went into the hospital after the second diagnosis in January 2000 on his 46th birthday. And we took that drawing and we together went to have it screen printed onto a fuchsia colour material that she chose. And we started collecting uh, pieces from all over Australia and some from South Africa and one from New Zealand. And we we collected those, and every time they'd come to it would be mailed to us. She got really excited because there's another piece, mummy. So that was my focus, my children, and the thing is that widows suffer a lot. I don't know. I don't believe that that they suffer as much uh, in Islamic countries other than war-torn ones, uh, because they're viewed with respect, and unfortunately that wasn't the case for me, and I'm not quite sure why that was, uh, but I would try and rise above it as much as possible, and so yeah, that's how I dealt with that. And post-traumatic stress came about a few years later, and that led to uh, the Western biomedical model of health, whereby you're diagnosed as bipolar after that, and then then they lead on because uh, in reality, the Western biomedical health, when it comes to psychiatry, is really based on pharmaceuticals. And I'm a very holistic person. I've always been that way. And that's why my husband survived for 7 years with glioblastoma multiforme 4, which is the most lethal of brain tumours. And apart from the fact that he had very good specialists, but it was mainly because of my care. And so I don't believe in psychiatric drugs of any form whatsoever. That made it worse for me, much worse. And it really separates you from your children because you can't focus the way you want to. And that's rounding around them to protect them in every spiritual, emotional, psychological, physical way possible. My faith, my faith helped me a lot. I'm a bit like Sinead like that.
Yes, Maddie, yours is an truly inspiring journey, and thank you so much for sharing here, and thank you for your valuable time, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Next level.